So yeah, so normally there's an image here with a deck list, but that's having a little more trouble loading than I would like, so we're gonna chat about the deck like this. Let me get all of that for you here. The visual deck list tool that I've been using has been pretty good overall. It's just not been good on, like, there's like a few cards that like create issues, and I'm not sure which one's creating an issue for Abzan. So I'll talk about the deck. I'll try to fix the issue, and then I'll start playing games of Magic. Let's see here. Yeah, so I want to make sure we display all the lands. So let's just make this a little smaller. Okay, cool. So, green-black midrange decks. So we have two decks today. I'm going to start with the Absent deck. So the Jund deck I'll present a little later down the line. But this is like the list that Edel sent me, like, so that to date this would be like a good list for the format as is. Essentially try to make it a little more resilient to Fatal Push and Lightning Bolts. So you still have Tarmogoyf because that card is just too good. But that's why you see like 2 Siege Rhinos and 2 Tassigurs. Is like the kind of combat those cards a little more. And yeah, this is like as classical as you can get a mid-range deck in the format. Like free Thoughtseize, free Inquisition, the basis for like any mid-range decks, complemented by 2 Collective Brutalities, free push, free paths, good in different situations, 2 Decays, free Lilianas, 2 Trackers. The only like real 4-ofs are like, apart from the mana base, are Tarmogoyf and Lingering Souls. So you can tell essentially what the deck cares about. And yeah, basically it tries to grind you out by having an efficient beater and efficient threats. Lingering Souls making a bunch of 1/1 flyers makes it actually really hard to fight this deck. Then you have Liliana, Tireless Tracker, Tasker, and Siege Rhinos to kind of complement. Just cards that like try to be good in any situation. So yeah. As for the sideboard, again, this is a mid-range deck, so you're gonna get like a bunch of random 2-ofs. The 2-ofs are like the ones that like matter usually the most. They're like the cards that you need in matchups, like Stony Silence for Tron, Fulminator. Sorry, yeah, Stony Silence and Fulminator for Tron. They even have Surgical Extractions for that matchup, because you have 1 Ghost Critter and 2 Fulminators, and you can like go for broke, and that matchup's so bad it's sometimes correct to just go for broke, board in Surgicals, and hope to like hit. It's not very good, but sometimes you have to. And then yeah, some complementary cards like Collective, the last Collective Brutality, and then like these 1 piece of Graveyard Hate. I think if like you could change a bit about this list, the second Nihil Spellbomb over a Surgical would be pretty okay. But like I think this list is more tuned against Storm with these. The Liliana's Defeat, kind of a concession to Death Shadow existing. This is interesting. I haven't really seen this in an Abzan list before, but I want to see how it pays off. It seems good in like the mirror match where you have like a ton of removal. Damnation, Front, and Creeping Corrosion. Like, essentially this is like a mid-range deck. It's just trying to adapt to different situations and like what's going on. So yeah, the deck list not working is actually really... Yeah, so that's basically the deck. I'm just gonna see like what's making this deck list not working. I'm not sure, because like the tool I'm using basically is like visual deck list tool, and it's been awesome for like basically all the stream. But there are a few cards that like seem to just like not exist in the database, and as a result, yeah, I just don't get, and I can't tell you like what it is necessarily. So I'm gonna just try different things to make that work, and then once the list is done, I'm gonna start the games, because like I think it's useful to have the list. I may actually start the games now, and then we can have the list on later. Unfortunately, it was like a bug I realized a little late, so I can at least isolate like what might be the issue. Let's see. Let's close this. Right. Also, I just like noticed chat. So yeah, Liliana's Defeat. Yeah, Liliana's Defeat is interesting. It's like the actual most efficient answer to a Death Shadow, and it's really great against a Liliana. Well, I mean, obviously, but like in the like the mid range matchups, you don't want discard spells. You want like cards that are active, like Liliana's defeat. So that's really nice. I haven't yet had a chance to read the article on Abzan actually. I probably should have, to be fair. Let me check quickly. But yeah, like this is Edel's version. That's the current one. Wait, unless actually I might have read Reed's article on Abzan, but it was a long time ago. Like as in like months. So yeah, that would explain that. Without Path? I don't think that's right. Path is just too universal. It just deals with any creature for 1 mana. Like, I'm not sure like what you're trying to do that is going to be better than... Like, I understand like you got to fatal pushes and stuff. And giving your opponent a land can be a real drawback in some matchups, but Path just removes the creatures. No questions asked, no work. Like... Yeah, I don't know. Like what happens if you like face a Tasker that's ongoing with card advantage and you have this, or like even a Gurmag Angler? Do you really want to face a Gurmag Angler and yet with fatal pushes? That seems horrible to me. Like that just seems like a recipe for disaster. Like I don't necessarily understand that. Like push is not good. Like Path and push, like the matches where they're not good, they're like both marginally as bad. Like they're both marginally bad. So like, as in like one is bad and the other is worse, but they're both terrible. So like the matchups where you want them, yeah, like it's only really in the mid-range mirrors where sometimes you want more paths than pushes. But even then, like people like are tuning their Death Shadow list to be more resilient to push because like they have Death Shadow, but they want every other threat to not be pushable. So people are like tuning their list to like fight push because it is such a ubiquitous removal spell at the moment. So it's a bit, yeah. Okay. Think I've isolated the issue. I'm isolating the issue with the card list. Hopefully. Okay. So the issue with the card list comes from, it might be Tireless Tracker. I don't remember if like the Ponza one had anyone. Yeah, he plays a Murderous Cut? Okay, that makes sense. I don't necessarily... I think Cut is okay. But I don't necessarily like it. Since a lot of your cards need the graveyard, like Tarmogoyf and Souls. Like, also Cut doesn't deal with... it doesn't seem like it, but Cut doesn't deal with every problem. Like, exiling something is actually pretty potent. Like, removing it from game. Because, like, Cut kills the creature. And if you're against, like, those creature combo decks with, like, Eternal Witness, that can be... Or, like... yeah, that could be awkward. Okay. So I've isolated the issue down to Tastiger, Siege Rider, or Tireless. Yeah. Tastiger worked because I did Death Shadow, so Tireless Tracker or Siege Rider? Yeah. But yeah, like... Also, like, the problem with For the Land of the Veils is, like, they're super good, but, like, sometimes, like, getting rid of a card, like, in Exile is actually really primordial, I think, in a lot of scenarios. Like, what happens if you face, like, Wormcoil Legend? Like, that's a great example, actually. Like, Tron is a bad matchup, but, like, what happens if you face Wormcoil? Like, you just lose without Path. Like, if you're playing against Tron and you go Wormcoil, you literally have no... If you don't have, like, Path right there and then, you, like, lose the game on the spot. It's super hard to fight that card without like an Exile effect that can just cleanly get rid of it and like allow you to push through. Because if you like Liliana's Sack, they have like a Death Touch creature. Like you have to like push it as well. Like it's possible, but like you're asking for a lot of cards here. So like if your opponent turbos out one, it's not really always possible. Yeah, I think giving up on Tron is like a totally reasonable argument. Okay, so it seems like the deck list, the issue is with Siege Rhino. I hope it's not a second card, because otherwise I'm gonna just go without the deck list on stream. Let me see. I'm gonna skip this quickly. Okay. So copy. Paste the new source. Right. Working on stream as I start, yeah. The decklist tool has been super reliable, so that's why I haven't like checked it like at the start I like would check it always like in advance, but like it's been like pretty reliable, so that should kind of do the trick, assuming like the rest works out. Right. But yeah, like I can totally understand like giving up on the Tron matchup. I think that's a totally reasonable line. And we have an image. Excellent. So Siege Rhino seems to be glitched. Which is unfortunate, of course. Willie Idol just trying to slot Siege Rhino in every Abzan deck. I think it's fine for what it's worth, but yeah. 1 second. There we go. Cool. Okay, there we go. We don't need to be... Oh. Okay. This is all a bit squashed, which is not making me happy, but yeah. I feel bad for people on phones that are not going to be able to read this 2+2 Siege Rhino thing. So yeah, so I use like a tool called Visual Decklist, and it's been really good for me so far. It's just that like a very small subsection of cards just seems to not work with it, and it seems like kind of random. So like Pendle even like glitched, and Siege Rhino would glitch, and the glitch would be like you can't like. Basically, I can't, like, make the deck list get created, which is awkward. Marflat in the creatures category? Oh my god, come on. Oh, killing me. You're right, but it's killing me right now. Hey, let's just do this once and for all. Marsh flats, yeah. Yeah, because also when you export the deck list for Magic Online, it doesn't give you to you in a clean format. It just like mixes all the cards based on like, I think when you've added them to the deck. So like if I'm renting cards, for example, it's like super random. I like the opening of this, but not the rest. Let's skip. Right. Now, on the plus side, the deck lists are from Willie Edels, so that's actually a really nice part. So let me... I'm gonna give that the proper glory. Well, I put already that it's Edel Abzan, but that's kind of tiny. Let's... Like, that's not what I want to do as a fix. There we go. Having to text +2 Siege Rhino is just the worst. Also, like, XSplit does not deal well with, like, tiny text. Like, it thinks I want to expand it most of the time, when I, like, clearly don't, because that would be ludicrous. Okay, there we go. Very tiny. I could just put on MTGO Goldfish and take a screenshot of the list. That's true, but, like, the way this is set up with the visual deck list on the side is nice, because you get everything. I don't actually like the art and the white on the art, because a lot of, like, cards like Stoning Silence are like just not readable. I really like the tool, I just don't think it's the most legible thing necessarily, so I don't know. But But yeah, taking a picture, like, when you think about like how this screen is set up, like the Moto is just one big thing. And like kind of all the screen space is gonna get used, so I can't like I can't make like the Moto thing super big and then like overlay into the Moto app, because the Moto app is not designed in such a way that I could overlay on it. Oh yeah, like that. That's fair. I'll keep a consistent look for this time, but I'll think about it for the future. But yeah. Yeah, like what I would like if they were to like redesign Moto for like streamers, it would be awesome if they were like design it so that like let's see. Yeah, the right side of your screen like basically like gets this like you have like the option to add space so that like I can full screen Moto and just have that. Yeah, redesign Moto lol. That's fair. Yeah, they're gonna put a lot of focus on Arena, right? I think I've chatted enough about like streamer stuff and all that stuff. Let me just. Oh right, let me just see if the deck list has been redesigned, and let's get this show on the road. Right, so remove, add. Little Abzan. If I had started with Jund, this probably wouldn't actually exist, because then I could like tinker while we're playing games. Okay, so that's done. Right. Cool EO. Okay, let's just play. We're gonna start with Abzan. If you like mid-range, we're gonna get our fix today. 2 mid-range decks. This is like the last day of the stream as well. That's sweet. Okay. I'm gonna ask the Super Mario 64 and RPG, I guess. I've only downloaded so many albums. Right. Cool. He literally sent me these deck lists privately yesterday, so I'm gonna assume that if they're old lists, that I mean, he's just like sent them to me yesterday, so they should be as fresh as I can make them from the source of mid-range. Actually, I might advertise that I'm streaming this on Facebook today because it's the last stream. This is taking a long time to pair me. Again, my deck list from Willie Idle privately. It's for a good cause. It's, you know, I'm not like hiding the information. Yeah. 2 minutes and a half? Wow, people really like standard right now, I'm guessing. So, the standard like been really hyped or something? Let me check. I know we're on a modern stream, but like the standard format's been a little more exciting recently. Okay, 2 minutes and a half for a match. That is way above average. for modern. Yeah, I think like the standard bans have like made people shift formats. Like the card rental service, FTG Traders like made a pretty specific line about like how annoyed they were, which was funny. Yeah. Okay, so this hand we're obviously keeping. Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, Liliana is just an insane curve. The question isn't like whether we're keeping or not. It's like what our plan is for the sequencing. So I'm pretty sure I'm starting with Blooming Marsh, but then I need to probably fetch to make this Goyf bigger, like potentially. If I was to fetch, I would get... I'd have to get another black source. I could just get Godless Shrine, but there's no double white card in the list. Like, white is like the least used color, so I'll have to like wait until to see what my opponent's archetype is. If it's like a non-land disruption, I will probably get an Overgrown Tomb, and if it is land disruption based, I will probably get a Godless Shrine to, yeah. Ghost Quarter, Vial. Okay, we're against some like Death and Taxes deck, so I might have to like fetch right away rather than waiting, because if I don't want to like be forced to take a Lin and Arbiter. Let's see, they have Ghost Quarter. We can save our white till the end. I think Overgrown Tomb is fine. Still. Yeah. Taking damage here is not free, sadly, but yeah. Right, so Thalia. So they kept a one-lander. I'm clearly not taking Thalia here. So it's Tidehollow or Displacer. I could also take Path. I have to like kind of think for this one. Because my opponent, like my Liliana is probably not getting cast. Because my opponent's going to like Violent Thalia before I can play a Liliana. So I'm kind of limited to Tarmogoyf. Because my opponent's like kind of light on lands. This is a tough one. They have Ghost Quarter, so Tidehollow Scholar is probably coming off Vial. And our hand's pretty redundant, so I don't really care about Tidehollow Scholar right now. Like, the Thalias I can't take, so it like limits the choice to Displacer and Path. Displacer's awkward, but they don't have mana. I think I'm just going to take the Path, like, just get rid of their creature interaction. So our Tarmogoyf like reigns supreme. Pass. I could let them keep Path because it gives me a land, but like if you look at how their hand is like they like you can't take the Thalias. The Displacer needs a lot of time to be relevant and is like only so against you without like tons of mana. Okay, they draw the land. That's unfortunate. But yeah, we have our Tarmogoyf here. I'm gonna play Blooming Marsh and Tarmogoyf. Next turn we can just choose whether to pay 2 life or just play Shambling Immense. Like, they could Path, but, like, what happens if they, like, top deck Lin and Arbiter, right? Like, we're already getting Ghost Quartered. I don't really want to get Pathed without getting a land. So they clearly need to add a counter here. I could. The other line was to take the Tidehollow because it's an artifact creature. But, like, we have, like, tons of removal in our deck. We're going to, like, eventually draw into one of them. It's also worth noting, Thalia is much more annoying for Abzan than it would be for Jund. Since Jund has like a bunch of 1-mana removal spells, I guess like, yeah, they also have less, they don't have Lingering Souls, that's the key difference. Like Lingering Souls for Thalia is really bad, but yeah, the rest is about the same. So opponent can't attack. Okay, this is unfortunate. I kind of want to like use my fetch lands now. Like they are gonna get much worse later. But we have like 4 lands, so it's not as important. I think if I play Shambling Immense here, it's okay. They have to like top deck Lin and Arbiter. They could like Tidehollow Scholar and us end of turn, but it doesn't really matter what they take here. So I'm just going to play Shambling Immense and pass. Yeah, the Tarmogoyf here is just holding down for it. Like. Next turn, our opponent could, like, displace an attack, but that's totally fine. They should be developing their board. So, like, they're going to get a Tidehollow here. Yeah, okay. So, Tidehollow is going to get, like, something. Like, it could get the Siege Rhino. It's probably going to get the Siege Rhino. Our plan is probably going to be Liliana plus. Since our opponent has Vile, we want to get rid of like their cards as quickly as possible. I might also Liliana minus. It does get rid of, like, my opponent's keeping it at 2. That's actually kind of interesting. Keeping this at 2 is actually really interesting. Yeah. You guys are playing around Liliana sack. Brutality? Brutality's... Like, Brutality only has one real mode in this match, which is, like, to kill this. But I don't need the Siege Rhino back right away. I'm probably going to just Lily... If I Lily plus and they have Path, that's bad. If I Lily plus and they get Displacer plus a land, it's bad. I could make Lily sack. I think that's okay. Lily sack is okay, because then I could plus later. I'm just going to play Temple Garden for life here to not run into a Linear Arbiter, which would be awful. I think we just have to start, like, killing what our opponent has. I know they're going to, like, flash in Thalia, so it kind of works into their plan. But, like, Displacer means that they can just, like, Vile up to free and then bounce this turn away. So, they lose the Thalia and they're going to replay one. That's okay. Like, I'm kind of happy to, like, just get rid of Thalias over time. They can also, like, kill this Lily, but that requires, like, a Displacer or losing a creature when they know I have a run. Oh, Dark Confidant? That's pretty bad for us. That was a good top deck for them. They got Tide Hollow Scholar. Okay, the second Tide Hollow is awkward because it can get the Brutality. And now we don't really have a clean way to deal with this Confidant. Wow, they top deck Path as well. That is just... That is... You can kind of see, like, why I took Path originally. We have tons of black mana and green. It's going to be hard for them to disrupt us on black, so I'm going to get out Plains. Yeah, you can, like, see why I, like, took the Path here. Like, yeah. They should Tide Hollow on draw step. I mean, there's no real drawback to doing so. Yeah. The use is actually super powerful, though. Like, our opponent's gonna, like, kind of be forced to take this Brutality because they don't have the Thalia. So that puts me in an incredible, like, in a pretty decent position. Because otherwise I can just, like, I mean, I would take the Brutality, I think, because it, like, actually, I guess, like, I can't Brutality the Confidant. Yeah, just take the Brutality. Like, taking the Ooze is probably incorrect here, so yeah. Yeah, because, like, that gives me the option. Okay, so... You have Ooze and Liliana. I'm gonna just, like, play out all my cards, and then, like, plus Liliana with an Ooze up. So they could kill the Lily, but they would lose a creature, which I'm okay with. I could also, like, play this a little more cagely. But they have Displacer, which is a problem. I could make them sack. All of these creatures are actually pretty relevant. Like, and then, yeah, making them sack is definitely the right call here. And then we're gonna keep... One second. I'll get a basic swamp, actually. I don't want to get too many basics, because their strategy revolves around what's it called? Yeah. They should probably keep Bob, but then they give me one of these options. Yeah, so they give me Siege Rhino, which makes sense. But yeah. Okay. Then yeah, we're gonna pass. They have Bob, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. We're only like one removal spell top deck away from having, like, winning. The Bob is, like, the only thing that's really keeping them in this game, I think, later. We're at 10, which is not great, but we can start eating creatures. Caves, okay, well, that's their land, so they can finally, like, up their Displacer and bounce. So they can, like, bounce the Ooze to kill Liliana. I would up this. But yeah, we're one like path or fail push away from doing some pretty neat stuff. That's a little surprising not to up the Vile here, since there was a really good turn with Displacer. Like, my opponent could have Vile Displacer, bounced this, and killed Lily with, like, pretty low cost. So, like, unless my opponent top decked the path, but, like, then that would be weird, because, like, it's only one card. Yeah, so they play Displacer, sure. I guess they want the interactions with this, but I'm not the biggest fan of this. Because, like, now I'm making my opponent discard a real card, most likely, so... right, we're gonna make this slightly bigger. Because we're gonna be maybe constrained on mana. Yeah, they have a second Thalia, but I'm not a big fan of that play. Like, okay, what do you want to do? Oh, they have another Tide Hollow. That explains that. That explains this. The third Tide Hollow is pretty unfortunate for us. Also, we drew Marshflash, which is even more unfortunate, but that's okay. So we're gonna plus. So this Thalia is probably gonna go away because it's like their worst card by far. We also have Shemley Mint to block, which is pretty nice. I don't really need to fetch right away. I can fetch later. Yeah, like that would be the only card to not up is the second Tide Hauler, which is pretty brutal for us. But if we get a removal spell, we can get back Collective the other Tide Hollow. Temple, okay. Temple's bad for us because A, they don't take damage from Confidant, B, it's like extra mana for this Displacer. We flooded pretty hard with the 6 lands, but that's okay. That's like one of the problems with green-black by far is like you can't control your draws, so you're obviously going to have issues. Alright, so they played the Temple. They need to kill this Lily at some point. What is this? They can displace the Ooze. Sure. Then I have the Shemley Vent, so... Oh, they have Ghost Quarter though, so this is pretty easy for them. I mean, I definitely have to, like, activate this anyways. Like, it's not going to get better for me. So, yeah, they just activate this. There's no real cost of doing so. It's going to get Ghost Quartered, but, like, not much I can do about that. Yes. Then I'm going to just sack this to get rid of a duel for my deck. I'm not going to use the Scavenging Ooze since we don't have use for all this excess mana. Like, I guess if like we have a removal spell, maybe it was correct. Okay, Tarmogoyf. Oh, we're dead next turn, unfortunately, I think. We have, like, what, 2 creatures? So we go to 5. If our opponent displaces one of them and attacks, and I see when I block the Displacer, I lose to the others. So I'm going to just concede here. I need a removal spell. A removal spell would have helped me kill this, play this, and we would have been in business. Okay. Creature. Okay, that's not really worth it. Damnation's pretty good against these decks. Like, if you resolve this against them, they just lose, so, most of the time. This defeat only really gets Dark Confidant. It can get, like, I guess, Tide Hollow, but that's pretty limited area of cards. Front is interesting, because they can't, like... They actually can't interact with this card in any profitable or favorable way, so we're going to keep Front. Pulse is also good. Like, these cards are expensive, which is awkward, but they do pretty good work. Against them, they're kind of a mid-range deck, so I don't really like discard. I think it's okay on the play. I just want more cards that affect the board. Like, Brutality is like... Brutality, the fact that it kills a creature is really relevant. We're boarding in a bunch of freeze and force, though. Against a deck that mana denies. As a plan, so yeah. You want to play Absent for the PT? That's fair. Let me see what we board out. I want to board out some of the discard spells. Inquisitions gets everything that isn't Thought-Knot Seer, but Thought-Knot Seer is a real problem. Like, I actively want to take Thought-Knot Seer off of Thoughtseize. I don't want like the damage, but yeah. We'll take out 2 Inquisitions. Yeah, the deck is like not performing well in general, I think. But yeah, we want like removal. I think we're gonna keep the Thoughtseizes because it gets like Thought-Knot Seer. I could get rid of 1 Souls. The tokens have a little less use against like all 2/2s. And they usually board in some type of graveyard disruption. I just want to like have big creatures and big removal. I could also Tracker is like pretty okay against them. I think I'll board out another Thoughtseize. It's just not a good top deck. It's gonna, like, yeah, you can tune this deck to be good against any non-Tron deck. This hand has a pretty weak Tarmogoyf, but we have Abrupt Decay. We have a lot of creature threats, so I'm gonna keep this hand. And Decay can help us kill a Vial, which would actually be really strong. Leyline? Okay. This is why you board out this card, by the way. If my board is boarding in Leylines, for sure I'm boarding out this card. I actually think this is wrong. Like, Leyline is more for, like, matchup, like combo matchups. Like when this is stopping like discard spells, I don't think it's very good. Right, they play Vial and then we just decay this Vial. Like now. Actually, I say I decay it now. There's no 1-drop in the deck, so playing Tarmogoyf is very safe. Like I know it's a 0/1, but we can decay this and like attack for more next turn. Because like they have a, I don't think they have a 1-drop creature in the green when I play the black-white version, unless they're boarding 1 in. And we have like the extra land to pay decay for Ophalia. Rest in peace. Okay, that's also why you want to wait. Is then you know if like you need to get rid of something horrible like this. Because rest in peace is a problem. That is true. Okay, we can attack for 1 this turn pretty safely. Yeah. You want to wait on like Abrupt Decay because it's such a universal answer. Okay. So here we can't attack, so I'm just going to play Tireless Tracker and play a Plains to get a clue. And we're going to start writing the tracker value. Okay, my opponent... I wonder if they have Thought-Knot Seer. That would make a lot of sense. They kept the hand with Leyline, Rest in Peace, and Vial, so there's a high chance that their hand is a little slow. Okay, Gideon. Okay, that's their plan. Gideon of... Yeah, Gideon's pretty powerful against Abzan. We need to draw like a Malishman Ball. It's pretty stat. It's not really that beatable. Okay, we have Path. I'll skip this one because I don't like the vocals on it anyways. So my opponent has a Vial on free. So I can attack with Tireless Tracker. I can't really attack with... Oh, this is also not something I want. This is much nicer. Right, okay. I can attack Tracker into Gideon. Most likely my opponent will block with Knight. Let's see, they have free cards. But if they displace, I can Path to exile their card. I kind of want like the information because I'm not pathing this Knight, so let's just see what happens with this attack. I'm not attacking with Goyf here for obvious reasons. Like the Path doesn't pump it. The Goyf does get worse post board since they board in Rest in Peace and stuff. They definitely have to do this. We're gonna stack with these. Drawing a card. They could Flicker Wisp, I guess. I mean, if they Flicker Wisp, that's... I guess it's okay. Pontiff. Well, Pontiff, like, this is useful information. Because we get to path this Pontiff away. Sorry, this Knight away. Like, you know. Sack Clue main phase because we would draw a push. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to push the... Okay, we're gonna let this... But we could have drawn a land. I guess, like, I didn't consider that my opponent would put Pontiff in, but with Souls, it kind of makes sense. Alright, so we're gonna draw the card first. Liliana, okay. And now we're gonna exile this Knight. Yeah. I really didn't expect Pontiff, so it's okay though. We sadly don't have a land. All good, all good. Yeah. Way to combat Lingering Souls. It's kind of funny. All the cards I talked about sideboarding out, my opponent boarded answers for. Like Leyline and... Yeah. Right, so we have to get rid of this Gideon at some point. Otherwise we're going to just lose the game. Let me think here. We definitely want to play Quagmire because it's a land. I could attack the Gideon with Tracker here, but it's a lot more risky. I could also wait a turn. Waiting a turn is awkward because then they get more knights, but... And you kind of want to deal pressure. I could, like... My other plan could be to, like, go for Liliana here and plus. But my opponent could start attacking with Gideon, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. Also, like, Liliana only pluses. I can't make them sack because of Leyline. It might be that Liliana's not actually good in this matchup. I'll probably board her out on the draw. I could just sack the Clue here. And, like, play out Ooze. There's no creature right now. Yeah, that's probably the best. Okay. Let's just play out this Ooze. I think we're just going to have to amass at board state. Which is hard against Gideon, of course, but yeah. We have 2 pulses in our deck, so hopefully we can eventually pulse this, draw a pulse and get rid of this Gideon. Dark Confidant? Okay. This we need... Yeah, our opponent's like amassing a bunch of must-kill permanents, which is awkward. And they also have Shambling Events here to block. Attacking with Tracker might be okay. I think my opponent should make a knight with this Gideon, though. Like, there's no... Attacking seems wrong. Yeah, just a knight's good here. They have 1 card, though. This is a good turn to, like, get rid of that 1 card. We can make sure, like, no horrible shenanigans happen to us. We're probably gonna discard a Scavenging Ooze. That makes the... We already have free, so... It's not, like, that relevant a card. I want to make sure we get rid of, like... We use whatever this last card is. Caves? Okay. It's fine. It looks bad, but, like, it helps us... We could cast Tassiger here, but, like, it makes our Goyf, like, really bad. I think my plan here is to play Temple Garden, untapped, to investigate, and then, like, just pass. It looks super bad, but our Tracker's going to eventually become 6. So hopefully we can draw in response. I could, like, what could I draw? I could draw a Push here, too, or a Path, but I don't have, like, Gauntlet Shrine untapped, so I have to... I guess trying to draw a Push isn't, like, the worst plan in the world. If we can get rid of this Confidant, we're in okay shape. But yeah, I think I'm going to board out the... If my board's boarding in Leyline, Lily becomes worse. I think Pontiff, like, for souls is, like, whatever. But, like, yeah, Lily becoming worse is bad. Like, I did not expect this Pontiff at all. These Trackers are amazing, though. Please tell me I kept both in. That would have been bad. Based on what my opponent did... There's nothing really here that I would have wanted, to be honest. So, yeah. Maybe I can't board out Liliana. I think I'll board out back to Souls. Okay, Abrupt Decay could kill this Confidant next turn. Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah. The problem here for me is, like, the permanent value. That's just bad for me. Fondot's here? Oh, this is a brutal card for us. It's a big creature that also happens to get our Abrupt Decay. That was, like, the reason not to. Like, is we have Abrupt Decay in our deck, and Pulse, and, like, getting those cards taken is bad. But I think it was worth it for the risk of getting a push. Yeah, so here we're going to get Fought Not Seared. Our Abrupt Decay is going to, like, go bye-bye. One of the other really good cards we could draw is Lingering Souls, because like that kills Gideon pretty clean. Yeah, so Rub the K's gone for obvious reasons. Yeah. If I draw Pulse, there is a like world where I want to start like plussing Liliana to like leyline and like basically make my opponent choose between like the first row with all the lands and their Gideon and the second row with all their creatures, because then they would get one shot, so they're forced to keep the creatures and then we win eventually. Right, so I'm not... Oh, Damnation. That's an interesting card here. The problem is my opponent has Gideon. If my opponent didn't have Gideon, Damnation here would be actually pretty interesting. We also don't have a land, which is kind of frustrating. Yeah, this Damnation is not helping me fight a Gideon ally of Zendikar. I mean, yeah, it's just like, if they didn't have a Planeswalker, I think it'd be good enough here. But yeah, because we could then cast Ooze and Fang, and that'd be really powerful. What would that look like? If I Damnation here, my opponent haunts one of my creatures. Oh, they can't haunt anything anyways. Right, so they don't haunt. Then we play Ooze and Tasigur. My opponent probably has to plus Gideon. They have Shambling Vents as defense as well. But we have Quagmire. This is actually pretty complicated. I could try to make weight, but if they like draw a Tidehauler's Color or something, it's dangerous. Plussing Liliana has little value. Problem is I can't like Tasigur and activate Tasigur. Or like cast Tasigur. Problem is they have Shambling Vent. I guess they have Vile. They have a lot of lands, but let's see. We are drawing a card. I think that's like the biggest relevancy is we draw a card. But our creatures are slightly better right now. I could like wait a turn, but it gets taken. This is actually a really tough line. Because we're doing nothing this turn. Oh yeah, I can only cast Tasigur. I think I'd rather have the Tireless Tracker and just wait a bit. I think I want to take that risk. We have Liliana's plus. We have Liliana in play anyway, so our opponent's probably not gonna like stack cards. Flicker Wisp, right? Like a card like Flicker Wisp would be really awkward through Vile. Now with Damnation, so I guess this line is cut off, which is awkward. But they might Flicker Wisp like the Thought-Knots here. Okay, they drew a land, and they're gonna like plant a Flicker Wisp. We're at 18 facing. We should be fine. Opponent's probably gonna like Flicker Wisp end of turn though. Actually, what we could do is we could force Liliana's plus. Our opponent's probably gonna Flicker Wisp Tireless Tracker, and then we Damnation. Yeah, that's the line. That's the actual line. So investigate, let this resolve. Yeah. They might do it in response to us sacking this fetch land. And then we get Damnation. No, they didn't? Okay. I don't think I can get basics because I have Ghost Quarter. And this turn's planned to be like pretty big. So I'm gonna like get yeah, how much white? 2? How much black do we have? We have 3 black only, but if they... Yeah, we could get a Godless Shrine, I think, here. No. Okay. I'll get this Overgrown, too, I think. Okay. Right, so here we're going to Liliana plus. And probably discard... I'm probably going to, like, stack a Clue in response. Right, so plus here... Now my opponent's going to Flicker Wisp. Oh, they're not? Okay. Well, that's fine then. It's pretty bad because we lose a card I didn't intend to lose. But I think it's okay overall. Let's see. I guess I'll lose the Ooze here. It's pretty unfortunate though with all these creatures to lose the Ooze. I could lose the Tasigur as well. The Tassigers are a better natural threat, so yeah, let's just lose the Ooze. I'm kind of surprised they didn't flicker Wisp in response, actually. I should have cracked the clue no matter what. So we don't... Okay, so at this point, we want a Damnation. Do we, actually? This might be a good turn to not do anything. But, yeah, our opponent has, like, a lot going on. This is actually a really tough turn. I could crack a clue first anyways to kind of get that the information I want. I'll skip this. Yeah, let's crack a clue first, since, like, that gives us additional information that we may need. Because if I get Lingering Souls, then I'm gonna, like, just cast Lingering Souls here. Maybe, actually. Marsh Flats? That's actually pretty relevant because of the trackers. I could cast Tassiger with the plan to activate him, but then that runs into my Damnation. I could also just pass here, I think. This is super hard. Because like March Flash with Tireless Tracker is just unreal. Now I'm trying to think of like how this is gonna look post Damnation. I'm gonna pass. That's pretty risky though. Path to Exile. That's kind of what I was semi-hoping to see. It does like make the tracker die, which is awkward. This is by far... Okay, Temple, sure. We're not going to die from this attack because we have still access to Ooze. And then we can Damnation clean. Right, so Path Tracker. No reason to do anything yet. So, yeah, we accept this, sadly. We're just probably going to Ghost Quarter this Meyer. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, our opponent's going on the offensive. Let's just see. But like, because they want to still protect our Gideon, they're not going to go like full out. Going full out would probably be a mistake. All me, I guess? Right, yeah. Okay. So they have no more cards in hand, so we can be a bit creative here. I'm not going to activate the Quagmire because of the Ghost Quarters, so... Alright, so stack the clue, draw a card. Whenever Marsh Flats? That's not good, or whatever. Okay. So we're going to prevent the most damage, which is these two. And then I'm going to gain some life from this to not die. I gotta keep doing this, I think. Yeah, Tarmogoyf shrank, but that's fine. Okay. Now we draw a card. Tarmogoyf, okay. Like all of this is great in a post in a world where we follow up. Right. So I'm just gonna Damnation now. Like, there's clearly no point in waiting any longer. I mean, I could attack and, like, see what happens, but I'm going to assume my opponent is, like, a competent player. And it won't let their Gideon die. Alright, so Damnation, get rid of everything. Then we play Tassiger with the ability to get back what is a good question, though. I got a plus to Fred in Ultimate, even though they have this. Yeah. 1 sec. I can like get a dual land with this and then play everything I have. Alright, so Tasigur. I don't need this Damnation back. I don't really want a Goyf back. I guess the Scavenging Ooze is probably the best one left. I could also get like a Path to Exile back. Let's just do Ooze. Because once I have Ooze, I can make my Tasigur much better. Right. This does make these Goyfs a tiny bit worse. Wait 1 second. Right, okay. We're also running out of time, so yeah. Yeah. We are running out of time. We're at 6 minutes, so I'm going to have to speed up the next games. And now their Gideon is pretty vulnerable, but they also are. They're at 9. What is this? Displacer would be like the nut low. Thoughtseer's fine, because we have no cards. If we draw Pulse, that's actually pretty much game. +1/+1? Okay. Pulse would be game. From the last roll? Okay. The problem is, yeah, like this scenario. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could just play front here. And then like have enough mana up to regenerate. I'm just gonna plus Lily here. I could attack, but my opponent has Shemley Man, so it's not really worth it. Yeah, just pass. Yeah, this Gideon has been really troublesome for us. Really, really bad. Okay, they didn't... Yeah, because Liliana means that they can't, like, stockpile cards, which is actually a really nice trait. Yeah. Our opponent could attack, but it seems pretty mediocre. Like, it gives us the choice. Yeah. Right. This way we have push path. Okay, our opponent's gonna give us Thoughtseize. That was not what we wanted for obvious reasons. I mean, it's pretty bad anyways later, so yeah. Push is kind of nice. We do need Revolt, though. Let's see. We can get Revolt by activating Quagmire. How much damage is this? 4... Because like our opponent has to block both, and they have Shemley Men too. I guess I could just pass and wait to see what happens here. I could activate Quagmire actually. That just seems pretty free. Right, activate Quagmire and attack into Gideon, since they're forced. My opponent's forced to respond to this, and it gives us the swamp for a push. Yep. My opponent should figure out what this is, but they're losing their Gideon, so they have to do this. 5 minutes is not a lot, so our next game we're going to have to be super fast. These games have been super grindy, though, so that makes sense. Right, okay. Cast on Thought-Knots here. Draw a card. Path is great here. I'm just gonna pass with the ability to delve plus Path. Like use Tassigur's ability with Path. Because like if my opponent has Displacer, I can get rid of it this way. Although they have Vial, so there's not much of an interest there. Okay. Create a Knight. A Displacer would be kind of awkward because then our opponent can attack for a bunch of damage. Okay, so they have to give us push or ooze. One of the pushes or ooze. We would want to path here. Okay. So we're gonna force our opponent to discard the card. That way we make sure if it's okay, it's a path to exile. One second. My opponent has Shambling Vent. So I can activate this in response. Hopefully get lucky. Pulse or Souls? My opponent has to give me Souls, I think. Which is really good for me here. Then we can attack with our Franz and Goyf into our opponent's face. Actually, I have the path for this Gideon, which is good. I can just attack with, like, yeah, the 2 Goyfs into Gideon, or, yeah, everything into Gideon. And then play Ooze out. Right, okay, push. So now I can... Let's see, I can push a Knight Ally, path the other one, and my opponent blocks. I think this is fine. Right, okay, so... No. We can play, like, yeah, I can, like, push and path. So we're going to discard a Quagmire. Okay. Right, so I'm going to attack my opponent with all... I have push and path against, like, Shambling Vents plus Gideon if my opponent blocks, like, 2 tokens here. And then I can play Ooze and start eating stuff. I'm definitely going to push the Shambling Vents. Sure. Right. They know this is happening. Okay, that's fine. Let me play Ooze. We're running out of time, which really sucks. I'm probably just gonna F6 here unless, like, there's a good reason not to. Yeah, our opponent's lost. Okay, we're just gonna, like... We're just gonna F6 and win. Yeah, just... Okay, we won this really long game, but, like, the last match is gonna be hard. Okay, so they have Leyline and stuff. I think we want the extra Lingering Souls, and we're on the draw, so discard becomes okay, even though they have Leyline. Like, they have Leyline. 2 Thoughtseize is fine, I think. We also have Brutalities, but those act as anything. The problem is they have Folly in their deck, but they seem to have boarded it out. We'll board out of Liliana. Liliana seems worse against, like, Gideon. Liliana gets countered by Gideon pretty hard. Because that's the case, I want to add a Thoughtseize and board out another Lily. I think this is fine. Okay, so we have to play fast, so... this is a keep. We're gonna, like... Our plan here is to, like, not rip our opponent's hand to shreds, apparently. They always have this Leyline. Yeah. Hissing Quagmire pass. Right, okay. We're gonna get a Godless Shrine. Yes, we have a... We can get it from this. One, 2 Tarmogoyf. Whoop whoop. If our opponent passes this, then we have Siege Rhino, which is kind of sweet, so they shouldn't path this. We can push whatever comes up to. Is this Linen Arbiter? This would be brutal. Displacer, okay. We can deal with Displacer. But I have to fetch. Let's get a tapped Temple Garden. No. Fatal Push. This is kind of nice because it deals more pressure. Yeah. For opponent Fondnot Seers, they get a Siege Rhino, which is really awkward. But then I would actually double Brutality this, yeah. They get Siege Rhino and then we double Brutality the Fondnot. They definitely should take Siege Rhino. This is too big. This is also not a card they can deal with, like, in play. unless they get rid of it. So yeah. Let's see. Can't kick these anyway, so we're just gonna play this so they get less information. Brutality. Another brutality. At least brutality, unlike the other discard spells, has utility versus leyline, so it's okay. Yeah. Turns out Liliana would have been good. Okay, Path. Yes, let's get a Swamp. Now we need to top deck a Tireless Trackers. Oh my god, we did. That's insane. Like, this is like the exact card I would want in situations like this. Marsh Flats. We're gonna do it on opponent's upkeep, so that like if they have a removal spell, we can at least respond on their upkeep. Right. Because if they have like another path, then like this is the time you want to do it, because like, at least it taps them out. No, investigate. We're not gonna have 6 sadly here. Does F4 kind of work here? Because they have Lin and Arbiter in their deck. I can't like F6 here. Is this Fotnots here? No, this can't be Fotnots here. Wasteland Strangler. I have a card in exile, so... Fortunately, that's going to kill this tracker. Okay. Not much we can do here right now. We'll just draw a card and, yeah. Wait, there was no reason to draw a card. It's not like I can save it anyway, so I'm just exposing myself to like a discard spell. Oh well. Okay, we have Ooze and Brutality for this Wasteland. We have to get rid of it, just in case my opponent has a Displacer down the line. Displacer's pretty bad for us anyways, but yeah. Right, this... Scavenging... Oh, did I not pay green? Oh my god. I guess I could hold down M. Okay. So, F here. Now we can beat another Wasteland Strangler, since Ooze can go 4/4. I think I have to play the tracker out there. Like, they could have Wasteland Strangler, but like, whatever. What is this? This is Fotnots here. That's actually... Okay, that's not Fotnots here. This is bad for us. If this is not a... If they don't have Path, we could top deck a removal spell. We might be in okay shape. Okay, so let's just start eating stuff. Might as well. My opponent has like a path or something. This is just frustrating. But we have Shambling Vent to hopefully at least deal some pressure on Gideon. Okay. Let's see what we draw. Lingering Souls are pretty good. We have what? 4, 5, 6. Oh, they have. My opponent has path. That's brutal. Let's see. 5. I'm gonna have to accept this, I think, and not gain life because I'm gonna use all my mana this turn. Let's get a Swamp, and then let's play Lingering Souls. We have 2 like creature lands, which is kind of nice, even though our opponent has double Ghost Quarter. If my opponent's last card is Pontiff, this is just disgusting though. So pass. Oh, the visual deck list tool didn't like take Siege Rider for some reason. It just rejected it. Which you can like laugh about if you want on some level. Yeah, so our brutalities are gone. I don't have like right. Make a Night Ally. They have. Oh, my opponent has Pontiff. This is just disgusting for me. Strangler? Okay, we can beat Strangler. Yeah. If my opponent's using Strangler on a Spirit, that's a good sign. I mean, they might have to, but it's still a good sign. Okay. Our opponent should have attacked. I guess we have the vent cards, but yeah. Push, okay. Half push. They still have 2 Ghost Quarters up, so there's not really much of a point in attacking here. I'm just gonna attack all these cards on Gideon. Then we're gonna F6. They didn't Ghost Quarter, which is great for us. Okay, so now we have Fatal Push and Path. So I can Path this Gideon, which is really nice. Let's see what my opponent does here. I could pop the Gideon, or I could just accept that I'm gonna kill it. Okay. With like my tokens. This forces the ghost quarters to take action. Okay, we're gonna get a land. This is gonna be really hard to win. Not because of like strategy purposes, but we're just lacking time. So here, I'm gonna path the Gideon. I could kill the Gideon myself, so maybe this is a mistake. I'm gonna take the damage from this Wasteland Strangler, and then I'm gonna push it end of turn, and my opponent does nothing else. I think the damage is something I can live with here. Yeah, because like if my opponent plays like, yeah, Displacer, I need to kill this. This is the real problem. Pulse, okay, we can remove these tokens. So now it's just yeah, like a race I can't win because I don't have time. We might we might win, but not by, well, we're not gonna win by drawing Thoughtseize, but we might have one, like one more damage was all we needed. Opponent's gonna path, so push. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, unfortunately we have 5 seconds. That's not gonna win us the game. What is this? Flickerless. Yeah, okay. Our opponent, if we draw a blank here, we would have lost. If we draw a live card, what for? Yeah, we would have lost. Okay, that's fine. We would have actually lost this game. So I'm much happier about that than losing on time only. Okay. Yeah, if that's not a symbol of how long this stream is gonna be, like that was one match. Dear God, why do people want to play Absent? It's so long. Doesn't even seem to go anywhere. But yeah, I'm not convinced about the ley lines. Like, I'm gonna like board out discard a lot of the time, or Liliana's, so you're stranding like cards I'm boarding out. Like, yeah. Like, it was okay in those games, because like I drew 2. But like I drew a Thoughtseize. Like Liliana or Thoughtseize would have been irrelevant as a second draw, so like basically it was a 0 mana answer to my like 1 of Thoughtseize. I guess if like you gotta insert a sorcery and make collective worse, but I don't know about the ley lines in that matchup. They don't seem that great. Yeah, I wouldn't board in ley line because like if you don't have it in your opening hand, you just draw this ley line. It's horrifically bad. Like it just happened to be good because like my opponent always drew it on their opener, and it was like okay, but like it only stopped like 1 card kind of, so I wasn't like that impressed by it. Honestly, I think you shouldn't board in Leyline in those decks. Like against Storm, it's good. Like decks that like you care about. Yeah, the Jund deck looks sweet. Hopefully, like we can play these Absent games a little faster than that. That was like one of the grindiest games I played on stream, like out of the 30 days. So long. Unfortunately, we didn't like they had. I wonder if like I don't think I could have waited on that tracker. Like tracker plus fetch line was just too much. Like if my opponent doesn't have the answer right then and there, we win. I'm definitely keeping. It's just like what land do I get because we have Ghost Quarter. We're on the draw, so I will probably get an Overgrown Tomb in the dark. Otherwise, I'll think about it. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Okay, well, we got an Overgrown Tomb, so rather than fetching in the dark, I could just play this and Thoughtseize. If I can, I'll keep this fetch lines for Tireless. Okay. Well, they're on Blue Moon. Spreading Seas is a problem right now, especially with 2 of them. This hand is... Well, the Spell Snare is surprisingly not very well positioned against us. I gotta take the spreading seas here. Like, the Snapcaster Mage will be a problem later, but we'll deal with that later. Like, the double spreading seas would cut us pretty bad, so I don't want to, like, get hit by that. Most likely my opponent's on, like, some kind of Blue Moon deck, so... Yeah, this is... Yeah, so they're playing Blue Moon. Okay. Let's see here. I want to keep the fetch for tracker. And there's nothing I really want to resolve this turn. So I'm just going to play Godless Shrine tapped. If my opponent like literally drew Blood Moon, then they drew Blood Moon. I don't know what I can say about that. Like, I'm just going to like not... I'm just going to hope my opponent doesn't draw into Blood Moon this early. Really? Oh my god, really? This is very unfortunate. Like, they had 2 unknowns and they got there. I don't know what I could have done there. I guess I could have waited on the Thoughtseize, like, for turn 3, but... Because of this Scalding Tarn? Wait, 1 second. It doesn't really matter if I tap this land, though, but... Okay, it won't let me undo. It doesn't really matter. I can't really cast anything this turn. So... Yeah. I think it was correct to take the risk not to fetch a basic because we had tracker. And... Yeah. That's correct. Because, like, it was like one... It would have had to have been one of... Let's see. They draw a card. One of free blind cards, which isn't, like, super high. And then we'd have to also put them on a Blue Moon deck before... Like, I knew they were Blue Moon, actually. So, yeah. But free draws is, like, enough, but, like, not that high. No, I can't hold Thoughtseize. But the question was, should I, like, got in a basic land? But even if I got a basic, like, I guess I would have Tireless Trackered. Yeah. That might have been a mistake to play the Ghost Quarter there. Like, I should have played the forest, like, in case I draw the forest for Tarmogoyf. I mean, we're not winning the game where we don't draw a land, so... Yeah, I'm not the biggest... I don't know. It's not much of a point. We can just show our opponent our collection of mountains. Ugh. Yeah, the top decking of it was pretty brutal. Like, I could have like gotten a basic just as insurance, I guess. Maybe that's what I should have done, is just like played a basic. Sorry, like got in a basic because like the tracker value doesn't matter as much as just being able to cast my spells. Yeah, I think that was my error. Okay, I'm just gonna... I could go for longer. We're gonna... They know we're on Abzan, so discarding souls is not like a revelation to them. Revelation, sorry. Like, it's pretty clear one Abzan with this mana base and going Thoughtseize. We're gonna lose in 2 turns. So I'll discard another souls. Because my opponent has remand at least 1. The Snapcaster going the distance. Yeah, okay. This isn't a basic, so we lose. Right. Well, that was fun. Let's see. Front is pretty good against them. They have like 0 answers to this. Brutality is okay. It's just a never discard spell. I should keep souls in case I draw planes. There's no other white card. You're right. Okay, so against them, push isn't very good, and path is mediocre. We want the brutality. Like, brutality kind of doubles up as our removal if we are desperate for it. I don't like surgical against Snapcaster decks. They're a greedy blue deck, so Fulminator is good. They usually board in like some kind of weird permanence, so Pulse is better than it looks. And I'll board in the Spellbomb as like kind of a generic value card that can't cantrip. Let me skip this. As fun as it is. Yeah, Fulminator and Nihil are fine. They're just utility cards. Yeah, like they were drawing free cards. The tracker misled me. I should have gotten a basic. Like, if the tracker survives, I'm gonna get more than enough value. So that was like a really key error. If I got a basic though, what basic would it have been is a better question. Swamp like helps me cast a lot of my spells, and I had a Tassiger, but I didn't have like any of the other discard spells. So it would have been like correct in the absolute, but bad with my hand. Maybe green because I didn't know I drew the Tarmogoyf after because I would have casted that turn. I guess green gets me Tarmogoyf, Ooze, Tracker, so it gets me like the threats, and there's 2 swamps. Yeah, fetching green is correct because like if they Blood Moon literally that turn, then I need to top deck like a basic straight up. Yeah. But yeah, I've been liking spreading C decks. I don't like Blood Moon. Like, I think it's good against Abzan, but I don't think Abzan is like the biggest player in the metagame right now, so I don't know. Blood Moon has not impressed me as much as it could have because people know what you're on usually. And in that game, I got like just misled by Tracker. But like if I got a Forest, like my opponent would have been advantaged. But like what happens? Like if they don't Blood Moon on turn 3, like and I get like Forest Swamp, like their deck doesn't really do that much. So could be like another Pulse is correct, by the way, because I don't know what they're boarding into. But yeah, I'm just gonna board into Bolt Resilient Threats and take out my like cheap removal. This hand's awkward because we have a tap land and no basics. I think this is a really awkward hand. If this was untapped, this is a snap keep, but like going Inquisition turn 2 and like not getting basics, I think this hand is bad. Like there's a bunch of threats, but like with man, why isn't this like untapped? Ugh. It's really hard for me to mulligan any hand with these 2 cards and Alliance to cast them. It's just like we'll get a clean shot at Inquisition, but then we have like no basics versus one of their plans, and like this is very slow. I gotta keep, but I'm pretty sure this hand is bad. I mean, the other thing I could do with the sequence though is like play the Tarmogoyf first, but it gets bolted. Also, this I need like my blacks. I only have a singular black source here, so that's the other awkward part. And my opponent has Spell Snare and won't board it out, so yeah. And then Serum Visions, yeah. Serum Visions is interesting here. Like I just get information whether they keep or not. Top. Okay, that's bad for us. Top means that if they have Blood Moon, it's like the second card. I could Inquisition or play a Fret out. I think it's better to Inquisition now, but yeah, this is why I didn't like this hand. It just doesn't do much against this nonsense. Okay. Harvest Fire is fine, I think. We can beat the other Snapcasters with Ooze. I gotta just take Snapcaster. I think Cryptic Command is also bad, but like, if you're like in doubt of what to take ever, like against an opponent like that, just always take the Snap if you're in doubt. Right, so Delta pass. Right, Martial Arts is great. We want to get a basic of some site. They have Electrolyze, but that's on turn 3. Tarmogoyf is could be killed from Harvest Fire very easily. I could also like just cast this Liliana and start the discard train rolling. That's probably the best. Just cast Liliana. Then we need a basic swamp. Yeah. This was a really good draw. My opponent has like the remand. This is just gruesome. But they have a fetch land, so... Actually, their card was second from the top right. So like, if the card was castable, they would have like played Steam Vents. Because this would shuffle the card away. Unless they're pretty certain they don't want the second card. Yeah, Swamp. Really. Unless it's Spell Snare. It could be Spell Snare. Right, so Lily... Discard of Souls is pretty strong here. This is great against these decks. Okay, so they lost the Harvest Pyre. That's interesting. The reason it's interesting that they lost the Harvest Pyre is it means that, like... Oh, they have Snapcaster, I guess that makes sense. So they drew their second card. Like, if they Blood Moon, we get to, like, discard Souls and go nuts, so it's not so bad. If we get, like, another basic, like, this would be pretty good, actually. Like, if we can start offloading our hand, that'd be wonderful. I'll probably lead with a Tarmogoyf. Sulfur Falls. Wow. Why would you give me that info? That seems like pretty relevant info, too, so I'm not super convinced. Right. What is this on upkeep? We're gonna start with plussing Liliana before, so our opponent gets minimal information on what's going on. Discard Souls, okay. They lost Steam Vents? Okay, that would make sense if you're playing. So they have a Len in hand, most likely. So they have Snapcaster, but that doesn't do anything right now. They have Electrolyze, which kills Souls. Or we could just go for Goyf. Then my opponent could Snap Pyre. I could also go for Ooze, and Ooze prevents, like, shenanigans. Like, my opponent could, like, yeah, Electrolyze the Ooze, but then... Let's see, what do I want to do here? Because if my opponent Electrolyzes the Ooze, I eat the Snapcaster Mage. Then they can Snapcaster Harvest Fire the Ooze. I think that's fine. The Ooze seems totally reasonable here. My opponent's last card is Spell Snare. That's kind of awkward. Okay, it's not. Okay. Now we don't do anything. We wait for our opponent to, like, do what they need to do. We can't, by the way, because of, like, the sequencing, like, we could... I think we can eat the Snapcaster Mage and my opponent sacks the land, but that's about it. Okay. Because, like, now we can, like, go through the Electrolyze. Actually, I don't want to do this because this prevents my opponent from using Snapcaster. Let's not act here. If they Electrolyze... Oh, Clique? Well, so they are down to these free cards? Right, okay. If they're down to these free, I don't want the Snapcaster Mage to get any value. I'm actually, yeah. They can look at my hand, but then, and then Lily goes to 2. Yeah, that's okay. And then Souls. Yeah, they can't beat, like, Furt Souls. So yeah, they get rid, and I got another Lily. Another Lily is interesting. Because, like, now I can't really... Blood Moon? Okay, if they Blood Moon... Right, Blood Moon here is awkward. That was a really strong draw. I can choose, like, to either make this Ooze a free-free. Or eat the Harvest Pyre. The Harvest Pyre... I think I'm just going to make it a little larger. Like, the fact that it's a Fred is pretty important. Okay. They're probably going to Electrolyze their soul tokens, which is unfortunate. But I can still, like, plus this. I could also minus and kill this. This is kind of a tough call, because, like, all their cards are so good. So, like, plussing has a lot of value. I'll plus. Cryptic? Yeah, like, getting rid of a Cryptic is probably better than getting rid of a, like, than getting rid of a Clique. Because, like, yeah, now I can Souls and attack. And my opponent's going to Electrolyze these. Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to Electrolyze the Spirits and get through for damage. So now we want to draw our other basic forest or our other basic swamp. A plains would be like not the best, but an okay draw too. But this is not good. Okay, so Electrolyze is gone. And they haven't hit a land. Let's get the souls back on the road. It's possible like I should have like just tried to cast the souls over this ooze, but stopping a Snapcaster Mage seemed important. Top the card. Okay, it was a land. They could trade for the ooze. Foxy's is super strong here though, because like this is a turn where Snapcaster doesn't work. Let me think here. Like if I draw a forest, this ooze becomes great. So I think here I want to just attack with the tokens and that's it. Yeah. The problem with not having many single black spells. Brutality would be great though. Later. Like to kill Cleek plus Drain and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay, Lightning Bolt, Fotzi's... Sorry, Cryptic, Lightning Bolt, Mage. I think the Mage is the most dangerous card. Like, Cryptic is also bad, of course, but, yeah. Bolt the ooze in the turn. Yep. Okay. My opponent could have, like, bolt snap, like, played the Bolt and that, but then they wouldn't have Cryptic. But yeah, because of their Blood Moon, they can't cast this, so that's okay. Oh, come on, really? I know you have like a lot of basic islands, so that's still brutal. Yeah, now we get Cryptic. Ugh, okay. I guess I can attack with one. Time favors them, which is awkward. So like maybe I should raise 2 versus 3. Yeah, Cryptic Command here is brutal. I don't know if they should cast it to bounce a token, but okay. They decided that that's the best line for them. Yeah, so drawing any of the basics in my deck would be like nuts. This is not one of the basics. It was earlier. But yeah, this is why I didn't like my opener. We got really lucky with the Marsh Flats, but like it was like very slow to deploy stuff. Like if I could have gone turn 1 Inquisition, then the hand was great. Because then I could have gone like Goyf and like hope to draw for souls. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have attacked there because I can just block. Top Serum Visions. Okay, they drew Serum Visions. Because like if they otherwise they probably top. Jesus Christ, what? That's brutal. Well, that's pretty uncastable. Well, let's stay back. Force the issue at least. Bolts, okay. We're probably gonna lose. I wasn't sure about our opener, to be fair. So. Oh yeah, we're done. This spreading seas is over. It's a good game. Now we need to top deck like planes to do this, and then yeah, it's pretty hard. Yeah, I should have mulliganed the hand because it was too slow. I can't. I'm gonna just concede here. We can't really win. I could like go to conclusion, but yeah, we're done. That's not very good. Yeah, the Blood Moon getting us both games. I think that deck was fine when like Abzan was prevalent, but it's not very good now. It's just that happens that we're playing Abzan, so like I don't know. The Blood Moon has not impressed me as much. Like it's very rare that you're facing decks like this. It's good against Malekith, but even against Tron, like it's been like so. You'd think it's good against Tron, but it's okay. Well, we have Fotsies and Tarmogoyf, so we're obviously keeping. Yeah, but yeah, that like hand in game 2, like Souls is very good against them, but like the tap line was super brutal, like because like a non-tap land would give us like Inquisition, Goyf, and then like any like most lands would give us Souls or Liliana, which is insane. But yeah. So like maybe I should have mulliganed that hand. Because like our opponent didn't like Blood Moon on turn 3. They Blood Moon like much later and it was still like super efficient because we were too slow. And that cleat was very good, unfortunately for us. Well, we're gonna keep. Whenever they mulligan and you have Fotsies, it's so powerful. If they top their card, I mean, we're still gonna Fotsies on turn 1, but I need to check if they're gonna top their card because that tells me like what they're trying to keep. Okay, they top the card. Top fetch land is like a weird opener. So like I'm gonna be very attentive to that. Cause like it depends on what deck they're on. Cause like some decks you want to play Fotsies like beforehand, like once you see the card. But like the way this hand is textures, we can't. Okay, Temple Garden. Why? This is a very long tank for Temple Garden. Like, because if you have like a Bird or Noble, like you're 100% to play it here. So, okay. Blooming March, Fotsies you. The swap was good because it gives us information what we should get, which is probably a Temple Garden. Oh, they're like on green. Oh, they're on the 4-color Saheeli thingy. Or like they're on like their own take on the value deck. Okay, it's actually a pretty tough keep. If I was on the play, I definitely would have like not cared about Cobra. These are like all value creatures of different ilks. This pumps our Goyf the most if we took Courser. And they do have a glut of 2-drops. So I'm kind of tempted to take the Courser. I could also take the Voice, but I think we can beat the Voice over time. I think the Courser is the biggest problem anyways. Like it's the one that like makes sure that they can top deck the most, so yeah. Right, pass. Yeah, this is an enchantment creature, and it's like their only non-2-drop curve point. So I think it's fine to like cut the curve on 2. Like it's an enchantment creature, which makes this bigger. Yeah. So we're gonna get Temple Garden and play Goyf, and then Swamp Lily. Probably making each player discard. Since making them sacrifice is gonna be very limited in use. I could make sack to be. I could sack to be fair to start with, but yeah. Cobra. That makes sense. They're going to just offload their hand. So Lily Plus is actually going to be okay. Because like with Cobra, like any land is like additional source of... okay, so 10 ship. Kind of awkward because we want to curve out like into like Siege Rhino, but like yeah. Okay, let's get Temple Garden and Tarmogoyf. I could have also gotten a basic to not lose life, but I think we'll be fine life-wise. So yeah, just play a 4-5. This is kind of reminiscent of when you played against fairies, like you took their travel enchantment with Fotsies, and then your Goyf was insane. And this was in standard, by the way. You got to like Fotsies, Goyf in standard, which I think is unreal. Like you Fotsies their Bitter Blossom in turn 1, and then you like, and they suspend Ancestral Vision, and then you play Tarmogoyf. Like this was standard at one point. Like... like that was insane. That was like one of the most powerful standard formats I've ever played. It was like you had like Mutavault, Treetop Village, Tarmogoyf, Fotsies, Bitter Blossom, Ancestral Visions, Cryptic Command, Revel Arc decks. Like that format was like super high power. It also had Bolt. Yeah, Lightning Bolt was legal. It was like that was like probably the most like ludicrous format I remember all time. My opponent's tanking a little long. Bolt? I think Bolt was legal. Bolt was in M10, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Mock Fanatic plus damage on the stack was a thing? You're right, Lightning Bolt was not legal, sorry. The red deck was good though. It had like the 4 damage free red burn spell, right? Yeah. Yeah, Bolt was M10, you're right. So... Oh, wait. There was like a period where that was true. Yes, I remember because M10 was released. What year was M10 released? I think I was right on that one. 1 second. M10 release. M10 was like 2009 maybe? M10 release date, MTG. Yeah, it was in 2009. Okay, I'm off by a year. Oh, yeah, I was thinking of something else. You're right, 10th edition. Yeah, it was like... I was thinking of... Okay, so our opponent finally accepted our Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I'm thinking of it over standard. So that standard did not have Lightning Bolt. It had very good red deck, but not Bolt. Wall of Omens. Yep. Because of the Wall of Omens, there's not much of a point in Sack Lily. I think, like... Yeah, okay, so our opponent's gonna, like, do this. Yeah, I think our best plan is to plus Lily, but what we discard... I might discard... I could discard the other Lily or a Shambling Vent. I think the other Lily is a fine discard. Brutality is interesting, because our opponent has Township, and them getting a Township activation is a problem. I think Lily plus discard Lily is okay. But, because we can still Brutality the Cobra down the line, too. I definitely want to... I could also have gone, like, Brutality on Cobra, and try to look for their hand, but yeah. This ensures their hand is empty. Right, so we're going to discard Liliana because, yeah, it's not going to get much more value. While our opponent has this Voice of Resurgence, especially. Right, birds? Okay. Not really an attack we can do here, sadly for us. Yeah. Okay, so we don't know their hand. They're going to probably empty their hand, and then Lily's going to, like, double sack, because we're going to have to start punching through all this stuff. I could also, like, work Lily towards a plus, but yeah. Okay, from this, yeah, this doesn't get Eldritch Evolution, which would be the card I worry about at this exact moment. Forest, okay. Forest to get... They're pushing towards Township, so, like, killing our opponent's creatures does have value. Yeah, so our opponent, like, does this because they get, like, mana... Red? They have Avalanche Riders? Yeah, oh, they have a natural Avalanche Riders? That's kind of weird. Red-white. What's red-white in that deck? Green. Okay, another voice? Sure. Yeah. Because this Lily is going to otherwise, like, do stuff, so it's fine. Right, so is the plan to just double sack on the Lily? Like, I'm probably going to, like, kill either the voice or the Cobra here. The Cobra, like, makes Township easier, but any land activates it anyways. I'm gonna make them sack a creature. Like, I'm gonna have to, like, just punch through all this stuff anyways. There's not much I can do about it. I could, like, work towards an ultimate. That's, like, the other line. But, yeah. We're gonna have to start churning through the creatures our opponent has. Right, Wall of Omens? Sure. That makes this Brutality pretty good. So, target creature gets -2/-2. And then I'll play Shambling Vent. And pass. Right. Yeah, so we got... Okay, Noble Hierarch. Noble Hierarch's awkward because, like, it's a creature that starts activating this Township. I'm totally fine with blocking... Oh, okay, our Lily dies? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just get rid of one of these. Like, our Lily was going to sack to kill one of them anyway, so it's totally fine. Okay, so... let's see here. Opponent has 0 cards. I think we have to start dialing up the pressure dial. So we're going to attack with Goyf here. Opponent shouldn't block, they just take 5 here. But the Siege Rhino is going to be nice. Like, they're at 18, they can easily take this hit. Then they're going to go to 10, and then it's going to start getting a little murkier on how many hits they can take. But the next turn for them is pretty easy, they just stay back and Township. If we get a removal spell, though, that's super powerful. Okay, Siege Rhino. Quagmire. Hopefully we draw like a tracker or like some card advantage thing that... Basically, hopefully we draw like something that isn't Thoughtseize or Inquisition at this point. Yeah, so our opponent's like... the Noble Hierarch was a pretty good draw because it gives them like an option to pump and start trading. If we draw a removal spell, this is a super hard block for them though because we can just make their life hell. This is... Oh, okay, so they can like pump. I'm gonna definitely take the 4 here. Since, you know, I don't want to get townshipped like my Rhino townshipped. What is this? 2 for 8. This is big. This is very big. How is this? 4? Faladar Guardian. Ugh. Well, that's pretty bad because it's additional. Okay, Inquisition or Thoughtseize might actually be okay now. They got okay. Well, maybe not. They have a bird. I can't understate how good Township is in these decks, by the way. Like, when I tested the deck, I thought it wasn't good because it didn't have Township, and I think my opponent fixed this problem by adding the card, which I think was totally correct. Push kind of kills anything we need it to, so... I don't think attacking one of the lands is really worth it, since Quagmire gets blocked by Voice a little too naturally. So we're gonna just attack with these two and keep the lands back. If my opponent blocks with Voice, I'm gonna like pass on push, like just because I have the option. There's no like super incredibly efficient block though for them here. Like, I mean, they can block Voice on Tarmogoyf and upgrade their creature, but then like hopefully we can start chipping away at what they have. Okay. Yeah, that's logical. Right, so because of the Voice, we can wait till their turn for the push. Just in case they have Saheeli. Right, March flat and pass. The reason we're not pushing now is, again, if they top deck Saheeli, which they have 4 of in the deck. It also makes their combat math worse, and there's no Voices to punish us, so it's all good. Like, to the naked eye, this is pretty close to lethal, but we have Hissing Quagmire to block, so... Like, for them attacking is bad. They could stay back, and then it's kind of okay. And there's no real attack I can make, to be fair, so... A 1-drop creature is pretty much all I would play pre-combat. It's like, because it's like, you want to use Township this turn for sure. So like, if you have like a 1-green creature, then it's like, okay, you should play it. But anything else is like a pretty hefty cost. I guess Voice would be like the only one. Courser? That's a pretty good draw. Oh, Saheeli? Okay, well, that's an excellent draw. What you do with it is actually more interesting than yeah, anything else. I mean, yeah, we're definitely gonna respond to that. So let's get a, let's see, what is our mana? We have 2 white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 black. I think like as long as we get a Godless Shrine is probably what we want here, since if our event dies, we're gonna maybe be habitual in white. No. But yeah, we're gonna kill this thing. Speaking of standards that were broken. This is like standard kind of all over again. Right, so here we don't die, and our opponent's elementals are 4/4s. Also, our Tarmogoyf is a 6/7, because I think we did not have an instant actually get involved beforehand, so this is actually pretty nice. Okay, so 1 second. Our opponent would tag with this is definitely wrong. This would be a big mistake. Because we have Hissing Quagmire. This is like the perfect like mana to block and everything. Well, I'm definitely going to activate this because it's going to shrink our opponent's elemental, and we're never getting a better trade than this with the Quagmire. Let's be honest. Yeah. Block like this, and that's good enough. There's going to be a very long stream today. So if you like the stream, this is probably your... Okay. So our opponent's at 6. They only have 1 Felidar Guardian, so as long as we attack with kind of everything, this is correct. Because, like, our opponent could block the Shambly Event on the Elemental, but then like, that means they haven't blocked something else, he'll die. So it's all good. Like, because they'll have received damage. And I won't play the Marsh Flats because we have Tireless Tracker in our deck. So, yeah. Yeah, now we attack everything on my opponent. I mean, they have to block the Goyf no matter what they do, and then they have to block one of the other two, so... Like, there's no option. They have to block Tarmogoyf. I think it was fine for them to go for the combo. The attack was definitely wrong, though. Because, like, they could, like, go for the combo, and if they miss, like, just untap Gavany Township, and you're fine. So we're definitely attacking our opponent with all of these. Might as well have 6, because I'm not going to play this Marsh Flats. But then... Because, like, clearly I would, like, push or whatever pre-combat. Yeah. I probably should still do this block, because at least it, like, yeah. Like, it at least kills the land, so it's not so bad. Let's skip this long. And this one. This seems better. What is this? Yeah, this is why we wanted to attack as well. Is like it kills the mana creature, so our opponent can't top deck Witness into Guardian because they only play 1 Guardian. Man, this is gonna be a very long stream. I kind of expected it. I didn't expect to do a double stream, but it was like the last day, so kind of wanted to go for it. This is game 1. Dear God. Yeah. Like, all our matches, apart from the Moon one, were pretty fast, slow, so... Sorry, that shouldn't have happened. Wall of Omens? Yeah, that seems fine. Gives you, like, more blockers. I agree with this. You should draw a card first and then scry, because then you get more information, and you're definitely, like, you're never casting the card you draw, so, like, why... Like, also, like, if I have an Inquisition or Thoughtseize in hand, you'd rather draw a blind card first, so you get that, rather than, like, your actual card that you care about. So he didn't get... My opponent didn't get Felidar Guardian, so we're just gonna attack Mind Spank directly. Yeah, no removal is kind of unfortunate, of course. But yeah, so our opponent, like, blocks there and there. I might as well play the Marsh Flats now. In case I draw Lily, I still want to have access to... Yeah. Although Lily is basically going to be sack creature. I guess actually, like, as long as we have a card for Brutality and for Tracker, it's fine. Sure. But yeah, our opponent should have scryed first. Drawn first, as I said, because if I draw an Inquisition or Thoughtseize, then I get a blind card rather than a card you might have wanted. What is this? Blue. Oh my gosh. Rivals of Ixalan cards. In the house, right here. This is actually a really cool addition now that I think about it. I think, though, with my opponent's situation, they were maybe better off losing the Saheeli to make a copy of this. Because, like, they're going to need, like, literal... Because this has trample, so they're going to need, like, literal... I don't know how many walls they play, but they're going to need a wall. Misty? Okay. Yeah, this is lethal already. This is... Okay, Fatal Push. We have everything we need for the push to work, so we're just going to attack face. I can't imagine...